You ever feel like you're living in the same day over and over again? It's like life is doing this sick rerun of the same events, same things, maybe with different people, but it's always the same lesson, always the same thing happening to you over and over again. Same problems, different year. Sometimes it seems like Groundhog Day. I realized that this is not random. It's literally a loop. It's almost like the algorithm of life. I know we love talking about algorithms online and how they feed us the same thing over and over again. Like whatever we believe in, our For You page or the feed will show that same thing over and over again. I think, or I figured it out, that life has the same algorithm. You react the same way to situations. You attract the same people. So many people around me who have been married for a long time are realizing that they have attracted their parents, like one of the bad parents, and it's like they're now married to a very similar person. This is not something you consciously do. I think you do it because that's what your system is trained to do. And if you don't change the input, you're gonna keep getting the same thing. You're gonna keep experiencing the same thing. So today we're talking about how to break free from the loop and actually let go. Let go of the algorithm, change the algorithm, literally uninstall the program. Because letting go isn't just about moving on. You might move on from something or someone, but you will attract the same thing if you don't change yourself, the system that you are in. So let's really dive into this loop and algorithm of your being, okay? Think of your mind like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, whatever it is. What you engage with, it feeds you more of. That's exactly how life is. At this point, I'm really thinking of Matrix. I'm really thinking there's some simulation out there. I'm at a place where I'm actually convinced, not gonna lie. Whether you believe in that or not, think about it. The stories that you keep telling yourself, whatever you are trained to think, it goes on in your life. If you think you're broke, you're gonna be broke. You're never gonna be rich. So if you keep clicking on toxic relationships, more toxic people will show up in your life. If you keep making yourself small, then people who make you small will show up in your life. So if you keep reacting the same way, your brain assumes the response you prefer. And the more you get stuck in this loop, the loop gets stronger. Let's say you grew up always feeling like people don't listen to you. Your nervous system expects that now. So even when you're with new people, you either attract people who don't listen to you, you misinterpret the situation as people not listening, or you create unnecessary conflicts just to confirm that belief, that story. So that's the cycle that we're all in right now, and apply it to everything in your life. Everything that you see as a problem where you're like, oh, I need to work on this, like procrastination, my toxic relationship, my relationship with my parents, my friendships, whatever you may find. I think I'm seeing a bug over there. Okay, so your fears, your reactions, your expectations, they've all been fed to you over time, and now you're literally stuck in them. And here's the kicker that I really woke up to. Your brain will choose the familiar pain over unfamiliar happiness. So why do we resist the change? Why don't we just choose differently? If we see the loop, why can't we just get out? Because I know it feels so heavy, like, oh my God, okay, I broke up. I thought I fixed myself. Now I'm seeing this person again, and now I'm realizing some stuff that they're the same way. It's because making change is scary. If you've lived your whole life believing you're a victim of your circumstances, you can't suddenly change and be like, oh, it was me this whole time. Believing that I'm the victim of the circumstances, believing that I can't do anything about it, right? So suddenly realizing you have control might be very scary. That's why we have these people, right? Like we talk about in the self-growth community, how we outgrow relationships because we start to realize that we can change our lives, and we start working on ourselves. We start working on everything. We start taking life seriously, and then you look around and you realize your friends are no longer your friends. People who you trusted can no longer be trusted because they see you and they feel threatened because they realize if you can change, they can change too. And that's pretty scary for them to realize that. So that's very overwhelming to realize. It's honestly easier to say, well, this is just the way life is, right? I have a lot of people around me who are literally this way, and I'm now outgrowing those relationships, and we're literally talking in real life about those topics in this podcast. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. This is a new podcast. I know all the self-growth and motivation podcasts out there are like episode 300, 400, but we're not there yet. We're growing together in 2025. So make sure to join the team, join the community. So the moment you outgrow your own thoughts or people around you, the moment you realize that you have power, you also realize that you have responsibility. So you can't just say, I keep end up in toxic relationships. Oh my God, everybody keeps taking advantage of me. Now you can say, I actually choose to stay in toxic relationships. I actually choose relationships or friendships where people take advantage of me. This is something I'm doing, not life is doing it to me. Oh, I'm choosing to stay broke because that's where I feel comfortable. Because rich people or people who make money are evil. So money is evil. You know what I mean? These are all the stories that we keep telling ourselves, and you keep enforcing that story in your own life. The other day, my mom and I were talking about my grandma, who is now 86 years old. And even though she's now rich, like her husband died and everything he ever owned is now hers, a lot of lands, a lot of houses, and she is still like, she will count how much a neighbor or someone visiting her is eating, and she'll be like, we don't have much, don't eat. And she will only like buy maybe a bread and a cheese, a block of cheese. And we're always like, you are rich. What are you doing? But she is stuck in the lack mindset because she grew up in poverty. So she's literally, she can't get out of it. And at this age, unfortunately, she cannot. Let's be real. But in our age, or age 50, 60 even, you can still get out. But 86, not so much. I'm sorry. You're probably stuck. I'm sorry. But I was literally telling my mom, because I was trying to help her understand that this is an algorithm that she has downloaded into her brain long ago, like 86 years ago when she was born. She saw everybody around her counting what they eat, counting the money because they had so little. Now she's doing the same way. It doesn't matter how much she has in her bank account. She won't, like, the other day I told my grandma, why don't you spend? Because like, you can enjoy life now. You can eat whatever the heck you want. Why aren't you spending? And she told me, well, I'll die in a month anyways. And I was like, Grandma, I hope you won't, and I'm sure you won't, but okay, so are you going to take the money to your grave? Or what is the logic here? Because I do not understand. I don't get it, because that algorithm is not mine, right? But we all have algorithms. There are other algorithms that I run on. And the moment we realize we have two choices. We either wake up or we choose to stay asleep, or we choose to feel stuck. There's also in the middle where it's like you realize you can break out of this, but you choose not to. And every day is a struggle because you're like, I know I can break out of this. I know, but like you choose to be in your comfort zone. And I get that. Our brains are literally wired to choose that. They want us to be comfortable. The fact that you leaving a toxic relationship, even though that's a healthy thing to do, your brain would be like, no, this is safe zone. This is what I know. Out there, I'll be in danger. I can't do on my own. I need this person, right? That's literally your self-talk if you're stuck in a relationship where it's toxic. So when you realize this, when you wake up to this, you can't just say, people keep hurting me. You have to say, I let people hurt me. This is my reality. This is my story. I let people walk all over me. I let people put me down. I let people say whatever the heck they want to me. And one of the realizations I had was, I avoid conflict because of my narcissistic father, because whenever there was conflict, it was more than just a little argument. It was like a full-blown physical crazy fight where people chased each other down in the house. Like, it was chaos. So automatically my brain goes to, I've talked about this in the previous episode, where this glass light protector of the fan fell during a construction that was going on above us, and I had to complain about it, right? But the moment they gaslit me, that as if like I'm complaining about the noise, I had to stand my ground and be like, no, 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 this is safety concern now. Even then I felt so bad, because I was like, oh my God, I can't avoid this conflict. Like, I want to avoid this conflict. I don't want no conflict in my life. But I'm trying to really tell myself that it is safe to have conflicts. You're not that kid anymore. You're not in that household anymore. So that's a personal example that I will give you guys. This is the hardest part about self-growth, because if you admit to yourself that you have agency, then you actually have to do something about it. And that's the scary part. So how do you actually let go? What is the secret, right? Like, how do you do that? So this is not about choosing something different. It's about becoming someone different. And that is the biggest secret of letting go and breaking out of the loop, breaking out of the algorithm. Because if you don't change your inner world, your outer world will keep repeating itself. The easiest way to let go is literally to act as if you're already that person who is free. That's how manifestation works, right? That's how visualization works, because you imagine yourself having millions of dollars, for example. Now your brain thinks, like, slowly your brain will realize, oh, this is safe for me to do. So then you start taking action in your real life. And you might also take it further, like based on what stories you're telling yourself or what algorithms you're running. You can be like, okay, now I'm a person who values themselves. I'm not someone who is begging to be chosen, because I choose myself. You can say that to yourself. Something that I'm working on is I'm trying to be someone who is in flow state, who trusts life rather than trying to control everything. So you can also start saying that to yourself if that's an algorithm you want to insert, if that's an algorithm you want to download. So you can become the person who is healed rather than choosing the same emotional wars over and over again. You're not stuck in a story unless you choose to be stuck in that story. And you shouldn't wait to feel ready. You should start doing this today. This is your sign. You start choosing different today. That doesn't mean go fuck shit up. Go like destroy your entire life. Go break up right now, or go kick that friend out right now, or move out right now. That doesn't mean that. But slowly in your mind, start telling yourself a different story. And when you catch yourself slipping to the old one, get yourself back. I know it's so strong, especially at the beginning. The pull is gonna be so strong. I remember the first times when I had to go against my dad finally and be like, hey, you're lying. So like, you're using me, and you used me all my life as a kid. I had to like stand my ground against him. It was so hard. The gaslight is so real. And I'm not even just talking about toxic relationships or parents and stuff like that. The pull of the way your brain used to work is gonna be a lot, because once you first start, it's like 10% of your brain slowly changes. 90% is still stuck in darkness. You have to keep doing this every day. This is a big work we're talking about. Like, you have to really make yourself sit the F down and meditate on whatever you're trying to change. Journal. These are really important. People like keep overlooking. I don't know, in the self-growth community, I know like journaling and manifestation and meditation are always like pushed, but also there are people who are like, oh, you don't need that, haha, you don't need that. No, you do. Are you kidding me? It's so hard to change your brain. You have to work on it every single day. You have to commit to it. If you want real change, you have to really commit to it. So as you start choosing different, you manifest, you meditate, you journal, you realize all these loops that you're stuck. You notice one loop, and then you notice 1,000 other ones in the background of that loop. As you dive deeper, you're gonna wake up to that reality of having so many stories that keep repeating itself in a loop. But eventually, if you do this enough, if you break out of the cycle, you will literally reset your entire algorithm. You will stop engaging with the same energy. Like the moment I realize someone is trying to use me, I'm out. I don't even try to please them anymore, and it feels so good. But trust me, this took me 4 or 5 years to finally click, maybe even more, because it started like in my early ages, and I was able to do it. But sometimes it'll still come back. Sometimes it's like I meet a person, they're trying to use me, and then I realize I'm trying to gaslight myself into thinking, oh no, you're just like thinking of your dad. You're just like misinterpreting the situation. And there comes a point where it's like, no, I'm not misinterpreting this. This person is definitely trying to use me. So yeah, trust yourself, trust your instincts. Stop gaslighting yourself. Stop gaslighting yourself the way everybody did when you were a kid. You have made that voice in your head, like you have internalized that voice in your head now. That does not belong to you. Recognize the patterns. So stop engaging with the same energy, and trust me, life will eventually stop feeding it to you. But even if you feel like, oh, I've stopped engaging with that type of energy, and now I'm free, life will again throw something at you and be like, are you sure you learned? Let's test it. Let's put it to a test. So remember that life will continue to test you about this, and you have to keep saying no. And the past only repeats itself if you let that happen. Remember that you have power. So if you're really ready to let it go, don't wait around for life to change. You start changing your inner world, and slowly your outer world will catch up with you. That's how you escape the loop. That's how you break free. If this hit home for you, I want to ask you one thing, okay? Let's take an inventory right here. You can comment this down below, or you can journal about it. What patterns keep repeating in your life? What loops do you feel stuck in? Really think about it. Really look around this week, okay? If you're still not noticing the loops, just look around. Am I overextending myself to people? I don't know. Think about it. So thank you for tuning into the Upgrade by Seda and Your podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, please download and rate this podcast 5 stars. If you think someone will benefit from listening to this video, make sure to send them a link. That'll help me a lot. And join the community if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video if you want to keep seeing my videos. And I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.